episode of Glow Studio Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Amelia.
And we have on episode 2 for you today, what to expect on your wedding day. So a little bit of a preview. Wedding day, a little bit of a preview from our perspective. So a little bit of a caveat to start with. Not every makeup artist and hair artist is going to have the same thoughts. They don't operate quite like we do. As you know from our backgrounds, Amelia and I are very service-based people. Not saying that other hair and makeup artists aren't, but we come from, very much a hospitality and a day spa background for me. So we might see the day a little bit differently. So this episode is really just to step you through on a normal, average wedding day, what happens with us, what happens at what time, and what to expect. So, and a few little tips and tricks as to how to make the day run a little bit easier.
Exactly, to keep it as stress-free as possible.
Absolutely.
Because every wedding that we've been to where stress is involved, that's where it's not enjoyable. And we don't want that for you.
Yes.
We know it can be different.
Yes.
We know that with a little bit of planning, a little bit of organisation, that you can get that stress under control and actually be in the moment and actually enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Absolutely. I've been married twice and, they were vastly different weddings, and you really want to make memories and enjoy this day. And as a bride, you've done so much work getting to this point. So now it's the point of, and often we get this, I think I've got everything organised. I'm not sure. So hopefully this episode helps to kind of cement that down a little bit, so you're feeling a bit more in control and what to expect.
Yes.
And really the wedding day for us really commences, well, not for us, we turn up on the day, but for you guys as a bridal party actually starts the day before. We really, on the day of the wedding, the one and only thing that you guys need to be doing is getting ready and getting married. The end. Not steaming dresses, not running around like blue ass flies, excuse my language. We want relaxation, we want enjoyment, we want happiness, we want positivity, and hopefully this episode helps bring that a little bit to light. So so everything should be done the day before. None of this, we'll do that in the morning while we're getting ready.
Because one thing that you forget is, we've got 5 hours or whatever of getting ready time.
Don't really.
But you're in the chair for 2 hours, for an hour getting your hair done. Then you're in the chair for an hour getting your makeup done. So now it's down to 3 hours. Then we've got running around, and then you got touch-ups, and then you got putting on your boob tape. And before you know it, you're like, oh my goodness, I've lost all this time. And then what we commonly see is an hour before you're due to be ready, it just goes mental.
Bonkers.
Everyone realizes, we're
behind
and we need to be on top of things and blah, blah, blah. Whereas what we're going to do, the way we're going to sort of outline the day for you, is that when it hits go time, what we call go time, that moment where it's like, okay, it's time to get your dressed and the nerves hit, and then all of a sudden it gets really real, that's a calm and enjoyable moment.
That's right. And everything's done.
And you can stand around together with your bridal party, and they're helping, and it's calm, and you can enjoy it. If you're a bit nervous and teary, you can focus on that. You're not worried,
someone's got to get the flowers and all that sort of stuff. So So definitely.
So what needs to happen the night before then?
Yes. What needs to happen the night before? A big one is steaming the dresses. Cannot stress it enough, guys. It's really not an appropriate thing that should be done the day of the wedding. And why? Because often we're either borrowing someone's steamer from Aunt Shelley or Grandma Joe, or we're buying one, from the other day, and it's fresh out the box. And what happens? No one knows how to use it. And you might think, it's not that hard. But often they are tricky. You got to make sure, can that material even be steamed?
Exactly. Check the label first. Yeah, don't melt it.
So ideally, guys, this is all troubleshoot. This is probably the one thing that causes that much stress time and time again on the wedding day, is people running around steaming dresses. So while you're doing your skin and hair prep the night before, while you got your masks on, while you're waiting your 20 minutes, we've already talked about this in episode 5, is steaming dresses. Take it out of the box. If you're not sure how to use it, Google the make and model number.
YouTube it.
Very
easy.
Very easy.
Same with tying up infinity dresses. Something that we see a lot of the time is those dresses where you can tie it this way, you can tie it this way, which are great. We love those.
They're great dresses.
All those beautiful body types.
Absolutely.
It covers them really well, all that sort of stuff. But the last thing that you need to be doing is coming up to the bride half an hour before she needs to get ready, going, I don't know how to tie this. Do you think this tie looks okay? Blah, blah, blah.
Do my boobs sit okay?
Yeah,
what about my back fat?
With this? No, that should have been organised. You should have practiced that already. It should be done.
The day before, the night before. So
exactly.
Steam your dresses the night before, girls. Try, if you're doing infinity dresses, tie them up, have a practice run so you know, okay, I'm going to get bridesmaid number 2, you know, Sally, she's going to help me to put my dress on. So that way there's none of that conversation that happens on the day. You're just getting into your dresses.
Yes. When they say it's time to get dressed,
You got 3 minutes.
Yeah, you got a small amount of time.
Your photographer, when they say it's time for you to get dressed, they actually wanted you dressed 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
By the time
they just wanted to keep you in your robe for that photo, and then they want to jump into the next thing.
Time to get dressed.
It's not the time to be putting on boob tape or anything like that.
Or
bride,
Spanx.
a different story. Bride, may be a different story.
Bride's different. Yeah,
you know, you want them to be comfortable. But really, if I know that, well, here we go. You got big tits.
Yep. I've had twins.
If Emma needs to strap her boobs into her dress, she should go,
Takes
okay, I'm
time.
going to get my makeup done. Then I'm going to go and do that. Then I'm going to come back and get my hair done.
I've got
So
a bit
it's
of
already
downtime.
It's all done.
If you're sitting around on your phone, and again, we've talked about this in Bridesmaid Chronicles, but if you're sitting around on your phone, think about, okay, what have I got to do to get into are my shoes really tricky? Why don't I just put my shoes on now? Because I've got really long claw fingernails. It's going to take me 20 minutes to do the buckle up, right? So thinking about those sorts of things and doing them before, doesn't matter if you're walking around in your robe with your boobs taped and your Spanx on and your heels on, that's fine. Who cares? That's awesome. Because it means that when it comes to getting your dress on, you're going to take 2 minutes and 2 minutes flat.
And then you're ready to.
And then you're ready. You're ready. So steaming the dresses, practicing the dresses and making sure you're not doing any last minute hemming as well. Like your dresses are appropriate length. Having all of that ready to go the day and the night before.
Exactly. And then you're also going to want to, you know, pull together your jewelry, your shoes, your hair clips, your, you know, bridal gifts and all that sort of stuff. You want to have everything out of bags, all in piles, ready to go.
Yes.
Ready to go. So you're not running around going, oh, we forgot about those earrings and they're in someone's bag or whatever it is.
You really want to just try and have that mentality of the wedding day. I'm just sitting in my makeup chair, getting my hair done, getting into my dress, and that's it. Nothing else.
Because everything else is done.
Because everything else is done.
Because everything else is done.
That's right.
Being organised allows you to actually be there and then
enjoy it.
And to enjoy it.
And if there are things that come your way on the wedding day, which often there are, you know, there will always be anomalies. There will always be something that happens. You guys are not stressed about everything else. You're able to tackle that situation and deal with it quickly, efficiently, effectively, stress-free.
And it won't be stressful.
No, it won't.
Because you're like, I don't have to run around and do all these.
That's right.
Things. Yeah.
That's right.
So this is the night before.
This is the night before.
We're sitting down. We're doing our skin prep, which we talk about in another episode. But we're organising. We're sitting down. We're talking with the bride and saying, "Hey, what can we help you with?"
Yeah.
All of that sort of stuff. Something that we see a lot of that doesn't often get thought of is a breakfast.
Breakfast, yeah.
For the morning. So organising that the night before.
Yep. Not having someone running out the morning of to go and do a Macca's run, you know, and then there was a hiccup with that, or there's traffic, or there's this, and now that person's late in our chair, you know. So it's just really trying to be ultra prepared, have all of that food ready to go the night before, plan it out.
Yep. And try to avoid hot foods if you can. Because what we find is that someone's sitting in their makeup chair getting their hair or makeup done, and then they get a cold meal.
Yeah.
And so something like cheese platters are really great.
Yeah.
Woolworths does an awesome, like a wrap platter.
Yeah, the wrap platters
they're
awesome.
quite reasonably priced.
Yep.
They last really well. They're not soggy. They're quite nice.
They make
Stick them on the table. People grab them as they need them throughout the day.
Fingery
really
food,
easy.
dry food. Again, we'll get into that. That'll helps me not lose my mind on the day. If you've got very saucy food and sauce running down your face with your makeup on. I'm hard work, I tell you. But dry food is great. Foods that are high in fats, high in proteins, high in carbohydrates. I know you got to fit into that wedding dress or that bridesmaid's dress, but I'm telling you, those pounds ain't going to go on in 20 minutes.
No.
We want
you want that energy.
You want that high energy food, you know, that's going to help sustain the body, help give you long satiety, can't say that word properly, you know, and just keep those blood sugar levels nice and stable, you know, avoiding those really high sugary, high carbohydrate foods that are going to give you that up and down, you know, which is all going to help with just making sure everything stays calm and relaxed.
Yeah. So basically, if you can think everything that can be done before tomorrow should be done.
Should be done.
I shouldn't have a list really, or very minimal.
Very minimal list.
And when we're saying minimal, we're saying, okay, you know, grandma's passed and I'm going to put a little photo of her around my flowers. You
Yes.
obviously can't do that until the flowers arrive. But that's something, a minimal thing that can happen on the day.
That's right.
That's about it.
And YouTube, how to do that.
Yeah.
It might sound silly or it might sound really simple, or it could be a charm or something. You know, we've seen like something borrowed from say grandma or aunt,
brooches,
or someone's wedding
that.
ring or brooches. Yeah. So think about that. Think about, okay, logistically, how am I going to do this? Because it might seem really small, but when you've only got 20 minutes to get into the car to get down and you're trying to fluff around with something little and you don't know how to tie it, again, it's elevating that stress. So think about it. You know, YouTube, how to tie on a brooch to my bouquet, because people do it all the time.
All the time.
Someone would have made a YouTube video about it.
Yep. That's exactly right.
So do that.
So intentionally going, okay, if it can be done the day before, it's done. Because now, today we're getting married. We've woken up in the morning.
Yep.
We've woken up in the morning. All we're going to do is marry the love of our life.
Marry the love of your life. That's it. That's all you want to be worrying about on the day of. That's it. So going back to timing. So starting late. So if we're running late straight off the bat.
And when we say we're running late, we mean we've arrived at your house and we're due to set up and start at 7:30, but everyone's still in bed or no one's arrived yet.
No one's arrived.
So we're waiting.
So we're then waiting. Then you got to hope I'm in a good mood. No, I'm joking. I will be fine. But again, you know, it will impact the entire day. It means that we're chasing our tail a little bit. We're having to work just that little bit quicker. And it will never ever, not for me, it will never ever substitute on my quality. No, it just means that I've just got to move my hands a lot faster. You know, which more of a me thing.
Yeah, and also then it means that you haven't got the mental state to have as much of a deep conversation and all that sort of stuff, which we love that. We love to sit and have a chat and get to know you as we're getting you ready.
That's right. That sort of I want to know you as a person and what makes you tick, and that's why we do this job. You know, another reason. There's many reasons, but it's the human interaction as well. So, and it just makes, again, for fun. You know, we crack a few jokes, we have a laugh. You know, we tell some stories, and it really makes it enjoyable. Yeah, I am guilty as charged with the stories. But Emils and I work continuously. So what that means is we often say bums on seats. So you'll have your run sheet, and it will say, you know, Sally's going at 7:30 for makeup and Jodie's going at 9 for whatever. We don't exactly matter when it's the bridal party, aside from the bride. Bride's the only one who's fixed in her place in terms of her timing, and we'll get to that later. But everybody else, we don't mind if Sally and June swap or whatever. Fine. That's fine.
Totally fine.
We just need a bum on a seat. It's more that so you guys can then kind of plan your day around that. So as long as we've got someone in our chair ready to go at all times, with clean teeth and done all their skin and hair prep, we are happy as.
Exactly. And that's why we recommend that you all stay the night before.
Exactly. Because it really does make a difference.
It makes a massive difference. It makes it easy.
You're just leaving too many things to chance, anomalies with weather, traffic, all that sort of stuff that could potentially run you late.
Yeah. And some people, a comment that we get often is, it's really early.
It's an early start.
Can we start early? Can we start later?
Sorry, but no.
No. Because we also have done this many times. And the times where we have gone, yes, we'll push that back because of timing, because you want us to. We've gone, we shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
Because something happens, and there's always something that happens. There's always
something, yeah.
You know, and if you are stressed on that timing, or if we're stressed on timing because, you know, you guys are going to pick up on that as
exactly.
well.
We're not, we're more quiet and we're working quietly and super quickly. Again, not just sort of elevating that room, which is what we like to do, is really trying to, you know, for us, it's all about making sure that day is really enjoyable. It's an experience. And you've only got one chance to do it. So that's why we care so much about it. So the run sheet may seem early. It might seem like an early start. Guys, it's a massive day as it is, and it's only one day. Have an extra pack of Red Bull. You know, adrenaline's going to kick in and you're going to have a great time. You can have a sleep in the day after and you can have a sleep in the day before.
Yeah.
But the day of the wedding, if we say we need to start it like that, we're not doing that because we want to see you, you know, rolling out of bed with dark circles under your eyes. We're doing it because we need to start at that time. Trust me. I'd rather a sleep in too.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, you know, if you guys are starting at 6, we're starting at 2:30 or 3. That's the reality of it. We're rolling out of bed. We got to do our makeup. We got to get our kits ready. We got to triple check our kits to make sure we got everything. Then get to where you are early, plus coffee. So
we don't do that to ourselves.
We don't do that to ourselves like
reason.
Yeah. We do it for you because we love it, and we absolutely love it. So
exactly.
Please have that trust that we know what we're doing with run sheets, and we would we will start at the time that we need to start to have everybody done comfortably and on time and enjoyably.
And that's the thing too,
comfortably, not right. Next. We don't work like that.
No, because really, this is your wedding day, but you're going to spend half of it with your hair and makeup people.
Yeah, you're going to spend half of it with us.
And that's a big chunk of your day.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And that's a big opportunity for great memories to be made.
That's right.
Yeah. So be intentional about that. Make sure that you're organised. Even having a tiny little list of those 3 or 4 things that you need to get done, just so you're like, I don't forget. But delegate to your bridesmaids too.
Yeah, tell them. Or tell us.
Yes.
Give us your list and we can say, okay, we'll make sure these things get done, whether or not that's, asking, say, hey, would you mind, possibly drying the flowers out or whatever it might be. We can help facilitate that for you.
Exactly. Speaking of flowers,
yes.
When do they usually arrive in the scheme of the day?
Usually somewhere between, say if you were getting married at 3, like a general 3 o'clock, I would say around 11 to 12.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 11 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 to 1.
Not too early.
Not too early,
not too late.
late. Yeah.
Usually is when they arrive.
And they come in a big box usually with the stems submerged in water to keep them super fresh. Mm-hmm. So what we've seen in the past is people are racing out the door. They've got their beautiful infinity dress on with that particular fabric. I don't know what that fabric's like. What it's called, but they whip out the flowers out of the box, water pours out all over their dress, all over their shoes, all over the floor, and then we've got a problem.
Yeah, and then everyone's freaking out. And everyone's getting out hair dryers and trying to dry things out. So one of the jobs for your bridesmaids is to only half an hour.
Only half an hour?
Before the go time, just as the photographer arrives.
That's
right. Also a really good time. Get one of the bridesmaids, a little bit of paper towel, tea towel, whatever, pour out the water. Put them back in. Yeah, so that they're ready.
So they're ready to go.
Ready to go.
You don't want to be drying them out as you're walking out. You want the time for that moisture, if there is any excess, to be dripping out, so it's not dripping all over your dresses, throughout the fancy car, or on your bride's dress either. It's just not that nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then the next person to arrive is usually the photographer.
That's right. Really. Yeah. That's right. Photographer will arrive as we are ending up our service. Mm-hmm. So and in terms of the photographer and where the bride's timing goes. So I like to do the bride's makeup second to last on the run sheet. And that is for a reason. I know your makeup is going to last until you take it off. Okay. And I'm going to talk you through all of your touch-ups and all that jazz. But even without touching it up, I'm confident you'll get at least 16, 17 hours wear without a touch-up. So it's going to last. Don't worry about being last so that it stays
really fresh. Or whatever.
It will be fresh. I'm telling you, it's fresh. But why we do that is because when you're sitting in a makeup chair, if you've not had your makeup professionally done before, you have to be quite still, obviously. You have to have a relaxed face so I can see the facial symmetry and I can do my work. When your photographer arrives, they're going to be, hi, Amelia, how are you? Hey, how exciting. How are you feeling today? Mm-hmm. And then generally the next question is, I need to photograph your shoes, your perfume, your rings, your this. Where are they located? Right? Mm-hmm. So
if you're sitting there with your eyes shut,
like this,
that's really overwhelming.
It's really overwhelming. You can't have because you can't stop to have your eyes open and have a chat for 10 minutes because that's 10 minutes out of my run time, right? So we want to have your makeup done before the photographer arrives, or just as if I'm putting your lashes on, they're arriving. Like that's the overlap time. Then they can move to your chair because while you're getting your hair done, and most of the time, generally for a bride, well, I wouldn't say most of the time, but would you say 70% of the time, you've already prepped their hair anyway.
Yeah. Usually by that time it's prepped. It's
prepped.
It's
You're
ready
just
to go. I'm styling
finalising it. Putting it into
But the point is you can have your eyes open, you can sit and you can be part of the room and see what's going on.
That's right.
Because that's the time it's like as soon as that photographer arrives, it's like, ooh, is this happening now? I'm getting
happening,
married.
It's happening.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting married.
Goes up.
Yeah. And if you're sitting there with your eyes closed, we've just seen it time and time again, brides get overwhelmed. And I was like, we don't need to be doing it this way.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. To be doing it this way.
Don't. So that way your photographer arrives, they're asking you questions, you've got your eyes open, you can actually have a conversation.
They can get their couple of last year little getting ready shots. We can do the fake powder and this or
we can do all that
doing
after.
Your hair or
do
whatever.
All that after. I can pretend. That's always pretend anyway. I never actually really, because I want that makeup complete. If it's getting photographed by a professional, it needs to be done. Lips and everything. Everything needs to be done. And then I'm coming in with my fake brush brush, which is perfectly spotlessly clean. It's not a fake brush, it's a real brush. And I usually pick the best one. And I'm doing this and we're all, looking amazing in the photo. So
it's all staged.
It's all staged. It's all staged. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And then so the bride is getting ready. She's got her hair done.
Now it's go time, which means you've got to get into your dress. So that's also why we try and finish up as the photographer arrives, or within, at half an hour or so, because the getting dressed part, depending on your dress, can take some time. And that's the reason why we're a little bit different, Mills and I. We don't just pack up and race out like, as soon as we're done, we're like, okay, see you, bye. We generally will stay back, and there's a few reasons as to why. You can kick us out by all means if you want that to be intimate with your bride. Absolutely, we're more than happy to leave you. But usually what we find is bridesmaids have got these beautiful long nails. And if there's a very intricate back or buttons or things, they can't do them. No. So we do them.
Even their shoes.
Even shoes.
Buckles on shoes. All of a sudden bridesmaids are like, I can't do my shoes up. Help me.
Yep. Oh, how many shoes I put on? Loads. And boob tape as well. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So again, we've taped a lot of boobs.
Checking straps. There's a little bit of an emergency, like, one of my sequins has fallen off or something like that.
Yep.
I in particular, I'm a bit of a, not control freak. I'm an extreme problem solver.
Yeah. You're not a control freak. Problem solver is a good way. Yeah.
So I've got like nipple covers in my kit. I've got all sorts of
zip ties.
I've got sewing tip. I've got earring backs or anything that you could. Basically, any problem that we've encountered in the past, I've gone, I'll pop something like that in my kit to solve that for next time.
Yes.
But it's handy. You need, because we've seen it all the time.
And the stress that one little thing can unravel so much. It really sounds like a tiny, tiny little thing, but it can really unravel and just throw. If people are tiptoeing on a precipice of anxiety, that can throw them over. Mm-hmm. So we really just, no, we don't.
And it doesn't need to be that way. So if you sort of think of us as almost like your backup bridesmaids.
Yes. Use us and abuse us if you need to.
Exactly.
We don't get our feelings hurt.
And most of the time we will close the door behind us. We're like, okay, bye, have fun.
Oh, yeah, so
and then
we're,
locking
up behind you or what have you. Yeah,
all that sort of
absolutely.
Stuff. Exactly.
If you trust us to do that, of course. So everybody's there. Your photographer's there. It's time to get into your dress. As I say, we can absolutely help you with taping boobs and all of that stuff. And whatever. You use us. We're there for service at that point. That's what we call is our service time. Where we're there to assist you guys and get you finish getting you ready. It's not just about hair and makeup, it's getting you ready. That's what we do.
Yes.
From start to finish. So
so when you see assisting bride at the bottom of your run sheet, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So helping with all of that sort of stuff. So and then you're all dressed up and you're all ready to go, and ideally you'd like to have a good 10-20 minutes or so, not too long, because the anxiety will kick in and you'll just be waiting around pacing, but you want to have sort of 10-20 minutes just to have a breather. Have a glass of champagne, have a couple of photos. That's the time for your photos, girls. That's the time for your photos. And your selfies is when you're all dressed and ready and you're just waiting to get into the car and go and marry your love. That's what we want,
Nice and calm.
Nice and calm. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of a bit of a nutshell of really what to expect.
With working with us.
Working with us. Yeah, as I say, every other hair and makeup artist will do things differently. There's no right or wrong way.
No.
We work in in an art form, so everyone has their own interpretation and their own way of doing things. There is no right or wrong. No. It is what it is. Yeah.
And then that will really lead into our next episode, which is going to be solely for bridesmaids.
The Bridesmaids Chronicles. Yes. If you are a bridesmaid or, if you have a bridal party, you need to be passing the next episode on to them, because it is just going to be, it's really targeted for them as a bridesmaid. And we do encounter a lot of things with bridesmaids. So it should be an interesting one.
Into the next episode.
That's right. Yes.
But in the meantime, if you are a bride and you are interested in hiring our services, head to our website, Flow Studio by Velbella. We've got links, we've got resources, we've got all sorts of stuff. We're going to have our podcast and everything will be up in there. Feel free to share it with any friends that you've got who are getting married. They don't just need to be our clients.
Doesn't have to be our clients. No. Anyone who you think that this information could help. That's what we're about. As I say, we are service-based people. That is what we're about. We're here to service you guys as brides. We've done it hundreds of times, and we
take advantage of our knowledge.
Take advantage of it.
Why
Yeah,
not?
absolutely.
We'll give it to you. It's just sitting in our brains.
Amen. Amen. But stay safe, guys. Can't wait to hear your thoughts, give us your feedback. Head to our website, as I said, if you get coming up and you're engaged, you want to be married, head to our website, www.glowstudiobyvelbella.com.au. We service everywhere in Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Toowoomba, even all the way out to beautiful Moreton Island, Stradbroke Island, anywhere really southeast Queensland. Hey, if you want us to come international, we'll come international. We don't mind. We'll be more than happy to do that. So, but yeah, stay safe. God bless. Until next time.